The hope to get out of the play-in position for this Miami Heat team is very much alive as they win again tonight by 10 or more. This time coming against the Washington Wizards. We'll break down this win as well as where the Miami Heat currently sit in the Eastern Conference standings as they are trying to get out of the play-in positions. We'll break this all down on this episode of Heat Digest where we create daily Miami Heat content. So go down, click the subscribe button as 85.5% of you guys currently watching this video are not currently subscribed to the channel, and we are 3 subscribers. Yes, 3 subscribers away from our goal of 1,200. So go down, click the subscribe button, help us get to that goal. We do appreciate all of the love and support, so thank you. But now let's get to it and break down this massive Miami Heat win. And yes, it is massive. I know it came against a shorthanded, but despite that, and with them, mediocre team in the Washington Wizards, as they didn't have Kyle Kuzma or Tyus Jones here tonight, the Miami Heat still looked good tonight as they did win this very competitive game, as it was competitive up until about halftime. But after that second half started, the Miami Heat started to really pull away. Now, for the box score, nothing really going to jump out at you besides the Terry Rozier numbers, as he was extremely dominant tonight. And I will say he did a phenomenal job, especially in the first half, keeping the Miami Heat really afloat. As the offense wasn't working, the shots were not falling, as we started 3 of 11 from behind the three-point line, including 0 of 7 in the first quarter. Things were not falling for the Miami Heat. We did not look good. Our offense was very sloppy, and despite our energy on really both ends of the floor, it didn't translate to stops on the defensive end, and we really looked like we were going to be in a shootout again with a bad team in the Washington Wizards that we know gives us nightmares from just less than a month ago as we lost to them at home. But again, for the box score, Terry Rozier was really dominant, and for this, I have Heat Muse's tweet that they posted shouting out both Bam Adebayo and Terry Rozier in the duo between point guard and center here tonight for the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo had 22 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, shot 50% from the field, 6 of 12. For Terry Rozier, really the star tonight for the Miami Heat, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 5 of 11 from behind the three-point line just for Terry Rozier here tonight. And for the rest of the box score, as we already highlighted Rozier and Bam, I will mention that Rozier shot 11 of 19 from the field overall. Absolutely stellar shooting percentages, stellar shooting overall from Terry Rozier. The ball handled tonight for Terry Rozier was really just as insane. During the first half, he had a few moments where he had handles that almost looked like Kyrie Irving or Darius Garland, and it really showed the point guard that we went out and got from Charlotte, and he had a little bit of flash to him, which is always good to see. For Jimmy Butler, he shot 5 of 11 from the field. Did not attempt a three-point shot tonight, but he was 7 of 9 from the free throw line, which is always good to see. He's being aggressive and getting to the free throw line, not only for the Miami Heat, but for himself. As he had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Did not do anything on the defensive end with no steals or blocks, but again, all around a pretty good game for the Jimmy Butler, our leader in Jimmy Butler, as he was a massive piece down the stretch of that fourth quarter when the Washington Wizards did make a push, cut an 18-point lead to 10. It seemed like the momentum had gone back to the Washington side as they were at home, but Jimmy Butler did a great job after the Miami Heat did take a timeout and went to commercial break. Jimmy Butler had a play drawn up for him on the block where he did take control. They left no help defender coming over when he was already posted up. He made really just one move, got to the basket, it was a foul and one, and all the momentum seemed like it was right back where it already was with the Miami Heat, and they went on to win this game. Overall, a great collective win for the Miami Heat. Again, it wasn't against a great team in the Washington Wizards, but a very important game overall. Duncan Robinson did return tonight for the first time after having the back discomfort. He only added 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, plus minus of -6. Shot 2 of 7 from the field, all 7 shots, all being from the three-point line. So obviously he's still being very much aggressive. I will say Kevin Love has returned. It is his second game back. He has not played in either game since being back, either against Portland or here tonight against the Washington Wizards. But hey, in both games, the Miami Heat have had Kevin Love back in for the last 2 consecutive games. They've won by a collective of 72 points. So, just saying, but he might be dominating the field for the Miami Heat. Obviously not, as he has not played. But again, overall, a good game for the Miami Heat. And they are staying very much alive in the playoffs, as we need to win these games. Yes, they're coming against the Portland Trailblazers, as we won 2 nights ago on Friday night against the Portland Trailblazers by 60 points, a franchise record. If you guys did not see that game, I apologize for not getting out a recap. We've just been extremely busy. But They won by 60. They were dominant from the start of the bell to the end. The defense, I've never seen the defense flying around that effectively. And not only that, but it was paired with a phenomenal shooting effort from the Miami Heat. And really it translated here tonight. Obviously the shooting started not so good. As we started over 7, we ended up going 3 of 11. Ended up shooting 10 of 23 for the remainder of the game after those first 11 shots from behind the three-point line. And the Miami Heat really took off on the Washington Wizards, and we needed it. As we are still just a half game back. We were a game and a half back. We are a game back. We are now a half game back from the 6th-seeded Indiana Pacers, who are sitting at 42-33, as the Miami Heat are at 41-33, and it's going to be a hell of a ride for these last 9 games, and I cannot wait. Here are our last 9 games for the Miami Heat. We have 2 games against Eastern Conference rivals, both at home, I will mention. First game will be on Tuesday night against the New York Knicks before hosting the Philadelphia 76ers on Thursday night. Now, those 2 games are going to be massive, as Philly did win tonight, and New York is currently in a dogfight with the Oklahoma City Thunder at home, to be determined to see how that game ends. But again, Philly did win tonight, making sure that we are still only a game and a half ahead of them, which is always good to see for the Miami Heat, as not only do we hold the season series up to this point, but again, our record based off the entire season is still better than the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, after those 2 games at home, we go on a 3-game road stand. It's probably going to be the 3 most important games of the NBA season for the Miami Heat. And the reason I say that is because we're going into Houston, who they've won 10 in a row. They're on the cusp of getting into the play-in tournament, fighting with the Warriors, who again are in a big fight, or a big game here tonight against the Spurs. That game's very going down to the wire. And then we go to Indiana. And I don't even have to mention the fact that, once again, a half game back from the 6th seed that is being controlled by the Indiana Pacers. It's going to be so interesting. I can't wait to see how we do up until that point, as we do have 3 games before this game in Indiana. And these 3 games we cannot look past, as these 3 teams can give us problems if we do not show up, not only on the offensive end, but the defensive end for this Miami Heat team, obviously before going to Atlanta and then closing out on a 3-game homestand for this Miami Heat team against Dallas, and then 2 games against the Toronto Raptors. Again, going to be an absolute, it's going to be chaos. Every game is going to matter for the Miami Heat, and we need to win every game from here on out to really not only take pressure off of ourselves and the performance that we can expect to have in the playoffs, but put the pressure on teams like the Indiana Pacers and the Orlando Magic. Yes, we are 2 full games back from the Orlando Magic, but if we can tie with them in record before this season ends, before these 9 games expire for the Miami Heat, we will then own the tiebreaker due to owning the season series between the Orlando Magic. I think it's extremely doable, as we do have a gauntlet of games. But again, if we can beat New York, that is definitely the toughest team on the schedule, this remaining schedule for the Miami Heat. We've beaten Philly a bunch of times this year. Houston is not better than us on paper, and if we show up, we are definitely better than that Houston Rockets team. And then all our chips are on the table for the Indiana Pacer game. It's going to be arguably the biggest game of this NBA season, depending on how these 2 teams do, the Indiana Pacers and the Miami Heat teams do, going into this game, as I'm assuming the Indiana Pacers also have roughly 8 or 9 games remaining in their NBA season, and how many of the games they have until that Miami Heat game. Obviously, it could be anywhere from 1 to 2, or obviously even 3 games before, and it's going to really be a gauntlet for not only the Miami Heat, but the rest of these teams fighting for playoff position in the Eastern Conference. But once again, the Miami Heat are very much alive. They beat the Portland Trailblazers on Friday night by 60 points, and they won again tonight against the Washington Wizards by 12. Yes, I know, not a full, healthy Washington Wizards team that is already mediocre to begin with, as they are currently 14-61 on the NBA season. But once again, this is a team that we lost to just about a month ago. This is a game that we cannot drop. It's definitely like an attitude check for the Miami Heat, because you can't come in here and give these guys the benefit of the doubt, play down to them. We have to really just excel and play our game of basketball and beat them, and we did tonight, which is always a positive as we are really winding down this NBA season. So let me know down below, what do you guys expect our record will be over these 9 games? I'm going to say that we win 7 of these games. I think we're going to win against Atlanta, Dallas, and both games against Toronto. I believe we beat Houston. I believe we beat Philly. I think at least we can win those 7 games. The biggest game is going to be New York. I think we beat Indiana. I would love to see an 8-1 end to this NBA season for this Miami Heat. I couldn't imagine what the standings would look like after that. But my guess is I'm going to say we go 8-1. I'm being a bit optimistic, but again, I believe we can do it. New York is going to be the biggest hurdle, and if we can beat them, we might even go 9-0. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Thanks for watching this episode of Heat Digest. I'll see you guys on the next one.